how strict the parents have been, he went to the party, came home, didn't realize that he had contracted COVID and gave it to his family. Dad, John, now is in the hospital fighting for his life.
Jeez. And we're going to be talking to John from the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Oh, my God. Mom, Michelle is on the phone with us right now. Mom, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. Good morning. Thank
Good
you
morning.
so much for having us on, Mojo.
Good morning. So, and I understand we were going to have Nick on with us, but Nick's been catching a lot of crap on social media. So he's kind of had enough of it, I guess, huh?
It's hard, as a kid, obviously, again, getting this sort of media attention is difficult for one. He's a very private person. This is a very personal experience, for us and for him, of course, to begin with. So, he definitely has a lot of remorse and regret for his actions. And it's hard, to speak about that to the entire world, for everyone to listen and to judge. And for myself as well, I've gotten quite a bit of backlash as well, saying I'm the evil stepmom and how dare you throw your stepson under the bus. I mean, horrible things that they've said even about myself and my husband, which is just cruel.
Well,
really the only point of this is just to bring awareness, to the severity of what the virus is, to bring a cautionary tale to others to please take this seriously.
So start from the beginning. Start from the beginning about the party and everything that was going on and Nick going to this party.
Again, we didn't know about any party, as a mom and dad as well, we always, heed the warnings. We pleaded, just please wear the mask every time you go out. Make sure you have sanitizer. Wash your hands when you get home or as often as you can. Do your thing, And again, yes, kids are kids. You were 21, I was 21. We all want to party, have fun. We're tired of being in quarantine. All of us are. We get it, but now is not the time, But unfortunately, yes, he went out. There were some friends in the house. Obviously, they were very chill and lax about the situation. They did not have their masks on, so they were drinking, hanging out. And, a few days to a week later, somebody called, my son Nick and said, hey, I just wanted to let you know I've tested positive for COVID. I think that you should get tested. And he's like, oh, wow, okay. Didn't really think anything of it at the moment until a couple days later he started feeling sick, cold-like, flu-like symptoms, and he did keep to himself. He was nervous. He was probably scared. He sort of hibernated in his room for a few days, and then after that, 3 days later, my son, who's 14, started getting sick, and then a few days later, I started getting sick, and then Dad, and it just sort of spiraled out of control at that point. And then, obviously, we had mild to moderate symptoms with fever, chills, for a couple of days, but when Dad got it, it was just like a nonstop fever for days.
And
then
he's
rushed to the hospital.
He's on the phone with us right now from the hospital. John,
God bless him, yeah.
How you doing, John?
Yes, sir. I'm here and I'm alive.
Well, it's great to hear your voice.
Yeah.
This is a cautionary tale, and I really appreciate you guys coming on and talking about it because I understand, no parent can control what a 21-year-old child does once they're out. You hope you instilled the right lessons in them, and I think for a lot of people in this country, we flattened the curve. We kind of moved on. We felt this freedom with nicer weather, and everybody went out and started to get a little relaxed because, let's face it, we're all sick of being indoors and staying at home. But your son never intended to get sick or to get any of you guys sick. So I'm sure the weight of him seeing his entire family, from his 6-year-old sister all the way up to his dad on his deathbed, I'm sure that weighs heavily on your son. And I appreciate how you handled it because you guys didn't get mad at him. You didn't.
Yeah. Tell us.
Not at all.
What did you guys say?
I want to first make something clear to all the listeners. It wasn't a COVID party. It was like 6 friends. It wasn't like a huge blowout, like, hey, we all have COVID, let's get together. It was nothing like that. So I just want to make that
okay,
clear.
So this was not a big rager party.
Out there doing, right, it wasn't a COVID party.
So how is Nick doing, and what was your last conversation, John, with Nick about?
Well, actually, my first conversation for me waking up, my very first message to him was, Nicholas, I love you. I'm not mad at him. I don't feel any ill will toward him. Like, he's a 21-year-old kid, and he made a small mistake. He took off his mask. None of his friends seemed sick, so he thought everything was okay. And, then, unfortunately, they put me on a ventilator for 20 days, and, I've been in the hospital now for over a month. But, last conversation I talked to him was yesterday. We talk every single day. Mm-hmm. We FaceTime. I ask him how he's doing. He said he's fine, especially now. He's very relieved he told me he was terrified, that something was going to happen to me. And, now that, obviously I'm alive, and he does feel bad about it. And I do hope that he learned a lesson. And he said he has. So we'll see
do you
where we go from here.
Do you ever think about, like, what it would have been like for him if, God forbid, you would have died?
My whole family. I'm the support for everybody.
Yeah.
I'm there,
but him,
for everything.
But him specifically to probably bear the burden for the rest of his life, which I know that he's still dealing with it right now, and it's got to be tough for him to see his pops in the hospital.
Oh, I can't even imagine. I couldn't imagine his life, if something happened to me. It would be horrible. It would be, he's only 21. He has a whole life ahead of him, and having to have that on his shoulders.
Yeah, it'd be devastating.
You guys are only at the beginning of this 1 month. Thank God you're on the other end of recovering, and things are looking good. But 1 month in, what are your hospital bills looking like?
Well, right now we haven't actually got the bills, but from what Michelle's researched and talking to other people, it could be anywhere from over $500,000 to $1 million.
Wow. Man. Well, bills aside, because I know we're going to talk about that and trying to help you. Bills aside, what's your recovery like? How much longer are you going to be in the hospital, and are you through the woods on this?
No, not yet. I'm still on oxygen. I don't have any use of my right arm at all. My legs aren't working. My core is completely gone. Basically, I've lost all muscle mass. I can't walk. I can't even scoot my butt across the bed or turn to my side. So I'm still in the hospital. I have to have nurses, dress me, wipe me, clean me.
And what are they saying? Will you get that back?
Yes, I have to go. So to leave the hospital, I need 2 negative COVID tests. Sorry, my voice is still out of it because of the
take your time.
Stuff. But I need 2 negative tests to leave, and they keep coming back positive.
Wow.
So once I leave here, I have to go to a rehab facility and live there probably for a month or two, to regain mobility and functionality and all my limbs and learn how to walk again. So I have still a couple months before I can even go home to see my family. Normally, the rehab facilities encourage your friends and family to come help you, get through this. But because of COVID,
they're not going to
letting anybody in. So I won't see my family now for another month or two.
Let me recap this story for you again. So the story is that Michelle and John's 21-year-old son, Nick, went to a party, and he took off his mask, and they had fun with his friends. And then somebody contracted COVID and then gave it to everybody else. And it has now led for Nick's entire family to have gotten COVID. And Michelle, I started this whole thing off with talking about how Nick's been getting chastised on social media, and you also have gotten chastised on social media too. Tell me how Nick's emotional state is with all that.
Luckily for us, he really doesn't go on the news. He doesn't see half the stories that have been told on the news. He doesn't go on Facebook much. So he's a really private kid. So I'm blessed in that manner. Unless I told him, hey, did you see us on the news? He wouldn't even know. So that's a blessing in itself. But we talk every day. I tell him how much I do love him, how much his dad loves him. He's really manned up. He's been helping me around the house, anything that he can do, to really make a difference and to make a change. And I know that this has definitely hit him hard. So for me, it's almost a blessing in a way that it's just made us more of a united front. We're more united as a family, honest to God, and so he respects me more, because I'm the stepmom, so that's just what it is. But again, he's totally manned up. And again, I know he does feel guilt, and he does sit in there, and I'm sure he probably beats himself up. But again, we try to just tell him, hey, buddy, listen, we know it was a mistake. You didn't intentionally do this. Nobody wants to hurt their family. But again, if one good thing can come from this, the silver lining is that we can tell the story, that we can bring awareness that this is real, and that the younger generation has to take, this seriously and realize that there are consequences to their actions. They don't want to hurt their family or loved ones. Wear the damn mask, do what you need to do to protect yourself and your family.
What's that, John?
Now is not the time to be out.
Well, not even just the younger generations, the older generations too. I see still people on Facebook saying, hey, where's a good place in, Grand Rapids to go have a beer? And, I'm like, at home. That's the best place to have a beer. Stay home.
Yeah.
When you're in the hospital bed and you're watching the news coverage and stuff, what are your thoughts when you see people that don't want to wear masks in public?
Right now, it went from anger. If you see any of my Facebook live feeds, it went from anger to now. You know what? I have to just tone down a little, but still be stern. Wear the mask and keep your distance. You don't need to be out right now. Right now, what we all need to do is come together, be on the same page, and just get through this so that we can go back to the way it was 5 months ago. I know it sucks to just sit home watching TV all day, but that's what we have to do. When we are all out working, all we want to do is be home watching TV.
Yeah.
And now, trying to get somebody to stay home is almost impossible. But if we all get together and get on the same page, we can all do it. But right now, it's going to take, forever. Who knows how long?
Were any of the other families of the kids who were at this party affected like you guys were affected?
Not sure. I'm not sure.
No,
I don't think so.
No, he said that no one else had gotten sick. Supposedly it was just him. It was probably like 5 people, but he was the one who got it and came home with it,
Wow.
So,
But
if people are just jumping in,
knows.
this is
Problem.
6 kids at a party. It wasn't a rage or college bash or something, It was
But there was one kid that tested positive also at that party besides Nick. Is that where Nick got it?
Somebody called my son.
Yeah.
So my son was sick for about a week and a half. And then one of his friends called and said, "Hey, Nick, you know what? I tested positive. You should go get tested." So that's when Nicholas came to me and he said, Dad, my friend called. This is what happened. This, that, or whatever. So I was like, "Oh crap!" So I don't. The last thing I remember was Father's Day. I don't remember getting sick. I don't remember 104 fever. I don't remember coming to the hospital. I did like live videos from the hospital. I don't remember any of them. Friends were telling me I was calling everybody, basically saying I'm going to die. Goodbye. I don't remember any of that stuff.
So there's Spike talked about the bills that are going to be coming in, and obviously with John not working, there's been a GoFundMe page that has been set up, which we're going to link on our mojointhemorning.com website, and we'll post for these guys. Have people been donating? What's the GoFundMe page at right now?
It's crazy.
No, my best friend, she did set that up for our family, and it's been, incredible. We're up to almost 50,000, I think, now, that it's just been, just from strangers even, being just so gracious and so generous to help our family, and, they're touched. And if it's, like, again, the purpose of this is if it could save one life, one family, then we've done something great, from this. But again, yes, people have been donating. Just to pay living expenses. Our bills alone are like $10,000 a month, and John and I have been out of work since March because we're both in the event industry, which there aren't any events happening. So we've already been, affected in that manner. And then having him in the hospital, it's just been so difficult. And just, the bills, of course, are going to be piling in. The rehab is going to cost another portion that, his insurance, unfortunately, just doesn't cover at this time. So we're trying to work with that and pray that somebody will help us, But
we appreciate that you guys. We appreciate you guys will come on the air and tell your story, because I think that it will make people more alert to this, because we've been hearing about some of the grad parties that have been going on, and we've been hearing about some of the get-togethers that kids are having at night. You know what I mean, like with their friends, but also adults are still doing the same thing too. And I appreciate you guys telling your story. And John, we hope that.
Also, we want to say one more thing. Real quick, John, if you want to talk about the nurses and the doctors.
Yeah, I definitely do. I want to thank all of the doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals and everybody out there right now working with COVID patients. I've seen it firsthand. You wouldn't, you see it on the news, but you just don't understand the amount of work that they're doing right now. Just to come in my room, they have to put on booties, full body suits, masks, glasses, two masks, hair nets. It's just crazy what they're doing right now. So I really want to put a thank you out there to all the healthcare professionals, because they saved my life. And especially here at Westside Regional Medical Center, they really, I'm alive.
That's awesome.
Reason to celebrate.
And John, soon you'll be rehabbing, and you'll be up walking, we pray, and doing well. And please, guys, tell Nick not to
wear your mask.
Not to listen to those people. Yeah, good point.
Wear
Thanks,
your
guys.
mask.